which is fine, but you need your drainage holes. If you don't put drainage holes in it, every time you water it, it's just going to sit in water, especially if you water it a lot. So my scissors have been left on site, so just put a few holes in it, just to let the water drain out. So that's that. You'll find it easier if you stand it on another big plant pot or something. The truck's not ideal, but if you have a bigger plant pot that you can just sit it in, then when you're working with it, you can just whiz it round. So that's that. I'm using this one for the time being. Where's my compost, Mike? I think it's behind you. Sorry. I've got that ready. I'm just going to move that back that way. Cheers. This is just a multi-purpose compost. You can go get the 3 bags for a tenner from B&Q or whatever, but it's not particularly good stuff. The more you pay, the better quality compost you get. It's got added nutrients in and things like that. So, we bought this in bulk from one of our suppliers. So I think we got about 4 palletfuls or whatever it was. So in here, I'm just going to fill it up with compost. Make sure there's no lumps in it. Little lumps don't mind, but big lumps we don't want, because otherwise the plant root is not going to grow through it. You know, I ought to get to do this, Mike, because you've been filling all the containers from it, so you know exactly what you're doing.
Where have the boys gone? In the dry, in the warm? Probably.
I'm just going to half fill it to start with, and in my little bag, all I've got is an organic slow release fertiliser.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put a sprinkle on there. So as you water, it slowly gives it a feed as you're doing it.
Do you use the gels?
I don't personally, but they are okay.
Yeah.
So if that's what you wanted to use, that's fine. Realistically, you don't even have to put the slow release in. You can just use a tomato feed or something like that. But this is if you forget, at least you know it's still getting a bit of a feed.
It's kind of done, isn't it?
Yeah. So sometimes you get big lumps in your compost, but so make sure you get them out. Surprising how much compost they actually take. So I've filled mine nearly to the top. You can always top up if there isn't enough. So I've got it there, and then you're going to decide what you're going to put in. So what I've got here, I've got fuchsia, so I might just pop that in the middle. I never ever put anything in until I've sorted them all out and decide what I'm putting in. These are called ivy leaf geraniums, just slightly different to your normal geranium. So any leaves that are just looking a little bit as if they're going, just pinch them off. So I maybe put one, maybe three of those. They always say plant up in 3 and 5s. Yeah. It just makes it symmetrical, looking better. But in this one, I'm actually going to put a few things. So I'm going to maybe chive in there. That's dill. It's looking a little bit sad. It needed a water before. Okay. Dill and a marjoram. So put them in. Yeah. So once we've done that. Sorry, I'm trying to press on that way, maybe you can see the camera. So once I've decided where to go, and I'll just take them all off again and always start in the middle, because otherwise you're going to start disturbing roots at the outside.
Could you have a tomato, for example?
Yeah. Yeah, if you've got your tomato, you can put tomatoes in. Maybe do a tomato and lettuce in the same one. Tomato and basil or something like that, so you've got the two combinations together. If your root's really tight, just give it a little tweak just to loosen it. Hole in the middle and cover it up to the level where it was in the pot. Don't leave any of your root showing. And I'm going to go on to my geraniums. And again, just make a hole with your hand. Firm it in lightly. And the next one. So these are going in 3, so try and space them out evenly. There we are, so that's those in. And then just your, see that's got really good root system on it, as it's coming out the bottom. So you might have to squeeze it, look at that.
There's not many, you know, it's not like...
No, it's because it's been left in the pot now. Once it comes out of here, the pot now, it'll start to
grow.
And the other thing with this, once you've had them in your basket, just plant them up somewhere else. If you've got a border or a bed in the garden, you can smell it. Yeah. So, chives in. I'll leave the labelling so you can see. Dill. This is a little bit dry, this one, but it'll need a bit of water. And then the margarine. And this is it's called a compact margarine, so this is going to stay quite tight. It's not going to go mad and take over the whole basket.
Yeah.
So that's in there. Now you could leave it like that if you think that's enough in it, or if you've got lobelia, you can always squash another lobelia in. Which will do, just find a gap.
That's why mine never look right then, because I don't put too many plants in.
Yeah, you need them. If you think about them, how long they're in here, it's not going to harm them being full.
And up in trailing, I've got a lot of trailing in usually.
So again, I've put one in there. I'm going to put another one. Another lobelia in there.
We're thinking of what we're eating, aren't we?
The other thing with anything trailing like lobelia, fuchsias, petunias, instead of letting them just grow one or a couple of leggy bits, give them a haircut. Just give them. You could cut all this all the way back, and it would just push it out a little bit more. Just give it a bit more fullness. I think I've got this stuck in this truck now. It's another one
Take a
there.
truck as well.
And then I'm going to put a third one in.
They're not going to be more than 2 months, 2 or 3 months.
And then your last lobelia in there. I can't get hold of the other end of that. That's it, we've done it. Sorry, thank you.
I frightened it.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So we've got 1 fuchsia, then we've got 3 geraniums, that's 4, 3 herbs, that's 7, and 3 lobelia. So we've got 10 plants in there.
Gosh.
Good water. Keep it well
I
watered.
might do that with the herbs this year.
Yeah. Keep it well watered. If any of this stuff starts getting a bit long and leggy, just give it a trim off. It won't do it any harm whatsoever. And to keep it going, deadhead it. Regularly deadhead. Because then it stops the circle of the flowers. Because once the flowers flowered, it wants to go to seed. It's a natural thing with plants. As soon as the flower
Start panicking.
they start panicking, think, oh God, I've got to go to seed. Take the flower heads off and they think, I've got to produce another flower now.
Would you be able to hand it, or would you have to put that inside for a while, or would you hang it? Because we're threatened with snow.
Yes, because of the weather condition. Normally at this time of the year, we would have been able to say, right, we'll put it out. I would keep this in for at least another couple of weeks or so, depending on the weather. The herbs, not a problem, but the other bedding, fuchsias and the lobelia, they haven't been hardened off outside. So that's it. And Rachel, you can have this for your garden.
Thank you very much.
Oh, that's lovely.